My name is Ryan Carter, and I've never been someone who expected grand celebrations. I've always believed birthdays were just another day on the calendar, but this one was supposed to be different. My girlfriend, Natalie, had promised she'd planned something special. We'd been together for 2 years, and although our relationship had its rough edges, I truly believed she cared. She'd chosen a place I'd never been, a high-end rooftop restaurant downtown, the kind with live piano music and a view of the city lights stretching for miles. I arrived early, wearing the shirt she once said made my eyes look too honest to lie. The host smiled, checked the reservation, and led me to a small table near the railing. "Would you like to wait for your guest before ordering?" she asked. "Yes," I said with a grin. "She'll be here any minute." Minutes passed. Then half an hour. The waiter checked in politely. I told him I was fine. I ordered water, then another glass when the first went warm. I kept glancing toward the entrance, expecting to see her walk in, her hair catching the candlelight the way it always did. But she didn't. After an hour, I texted her, "Everything okay?" No reply. 10 minutes later, "Are you on your way?" Still nothing. People at nearby tables were starting to notice the man sitting alone at a table set for two. The laughter around me grew sharper somehow, every clink of glass a reminder that mine stayed untouched. An hour and a half later, the waiter came again, looking almost apologetic. "Would you like to order now, sir?" I shook my head, forcing a smile. "She's coming. Just running late." He nodded kindly, but I could tell he didn't believe me. 2 hours after my reservation time, my phone finally buzzed. A text from Natalie. "Sorry, babe. Something came up with friends. Can we reschedule?" I read it 3 times, my stomach sinking lower each time. No explanation. No happy birthday. Just that. I put my phone down and stared at the empty chair across from me, the chair where she was supposed to be. The waiter came back, and this time, I nodded. "Bring me whatever your best dish is," I said quietly. As I ate alone under the dim rooftop lights, I realized it wasn't just about being stood up. It was about finally seeing the truth I'd been avoiding. Natalie had been distant for weeks, canceled plans, vague excuses, the way she stopped reaching for my hand when we walked together. I'd told myself she was just stressed, that we'd find our rhythm again. But sitting there on what should have been a night about love and laughter, I felt something inside me finally break free. Not anger, just clarity. When I got home, there were still no more messages from her. Not even a call. The next day, she posted a photo online, her and some friends at a different restaurant the same night, all smiles and champagne. I didn't comment, didn't confront her. Instead, I went silent. A few days later, she texted, "Hey, you've been quiet. Are you mad about dinner?" I typed, deleted, then finally wrote back, "No. Just done waiting." That seemed to shake her. She called immediately, her voice soft, almost rehearsed. "Ryan, come on. You know I didn't mean to hurt you. It was just one night." I let her speak, her excuses tumbling over each other. Traffic, plans she couldn't cancel, friends who needed her. When she paused, I said, "You made a choice, Natalie. You chose where you wanted to be. I just wasn't on that list." She went quiet for a long time before whispering, "You're overreacting." "Maybe," I said. "But I'm finally reacting." Then I ended the call. For a while, I felt empty, the kind of hollow that doesn't hurt, it just echoes. But over the next few weeks, that emptiness became something else, resolve. I started focusing on my work, reconnecting with friends I'd unintentionally drifted from, going on hikes I used to cancel because Natalie didn't like getting too sweaty. Slowly, I felt lighter. 2 months later, on a quiet Saturday, I returned to that same restaurant. The host recognized me and smiled sadly. "Table for one again?" she asked. "Actually," I said, smiling, "yes, but this time, it's intentional." I sat in the same seat, ordered the same meal, and when the waiter brought dessert, he said, "Would you like to make it special again?" I laughed softly. "It already is." That night, I watched the city lights and thought about how easily we mistake waiting for loyalty. Waiting for someone who doesn't value your time isn't love, it's self-neglect dressed as patience. I'd spent so much energy trying to prove I was worth showing up for that I forgot showing up for myself mattered more. A few weeks later, Natalie reached out again. "I've been thinking about you," she said. "Maybe we could talk?" I didn't respond right away. I thought about all the hours I'd spent at that table, the embarrassment, the hope, the quiet heartbreak, and then I simply replied, "I hope you find what you're looking for." That was the last time we spoke. Today, whenever people ask me about that birthday, I smile. It was the night I stopped waiting for someone else to make me feel special, I tell them. Because in that 2-hour silence, I finally learned the most important lesson of my life. Sometimes the best gift you'll ever get is realizing your own worth, even if it arrives late.